Hi, everyone. This is Jamie Steele, the owner of Tidy Your Time in Pflugerville, Texas. I help busy professionals find space in their calendar to focus on their passions by organizing their digital life. So, all of those people who are looking for documents and can't find documents, because they're not named properly, they're not in a file structure. That's what I help people do. Oh, and email. You can't forget about email. If you are inundated with emails and there's no organization and you can't find what you need, I have tips and hacks to fix that. Today, we're going to be talking about goals. This is the first live of the year. I plan on going live every week on Tuesdays at 11 a.m. Central. And there will always be a replay in my group, Positively Productive. That's where I'm coming to you live from. So if you can't make it at 11 a.m., don't worry. I've got you. There will be a replay. And like I said, for the month of January, we're going to be talking about goals and how to set them and why to set them. Today, we're going to go over the difference between a goal and a desire. We all have desires and we need to set goals in order to achieve those desires. We're also going to talk about 3 structures for setting up your goals and then talk about some ways to help your goals stick. So what is the difference between a goal and a desire? Goals have a time frame and actionable steps. So, and a desires are thoughts or ideas. Desire is not always in your control. Willpower is a big thing with desire in certain aspects. Maybe we'll get into that a little bit later, where you desire to have the chocolate cake. There's going to be a lot about food in this, I believe, when we're talking about goals. You desire to have the chocolate cake, and sometimes you don't have the willpower to not give in to that desire. So desire is not always in our control. An example of a desire is wanting to lose weight. And an example of a goal is losing 50 pounds by June 1st. So that you have it in, it's more specific than the desire. That's what makes a goal, and you can take actionable steps to reach that goal. There are structures you can use for goal setting. It's important that you adapt all these structures to your needs. Use anything that's like a model or a structure. You think of it as a framework, and frameworks are there for you to use them as templates that you can modify and adjust. So even though these are 3, one is a very well-known framework, that's the SMART framework. And 2 others you may not have heard of, but they kind of adapt SMART and make it easier for people to formulate their goals when all they can think about is the desire. So let's get into SMART. What does SMART stand for? SMART is specific, measurable or meaningful, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. So specific, we got specific in our weight loss goal. We want to lose 50 pounds by a specific date. Is it measurable? Yes, we know how much weight we want to lose. Is it meaningful to you? You could look at it that way as well. If you don't really care if you lose that much weight, then you probably won't be successful in meeting your goal. So it has to be meaningful to you. Is it achievable? There is a healthy way to go about weight loss. So if you are trying to lose 5 pounds a week, that might be doable, but it might not be the healthiest for you. So if you are, I lost my thought. I had a notification pop up and I lost my thought. Darn those notifications. If you are trying to lose too much weight on a weekly basis, then you're not going to be able to achieve it. Is it relevant to you? Is there a reason that you need to do it? and then time bound. That goals have an end and a beginning and an end. So kind of like a project. You can think of a lot of your projects as goals. We had a specific end date for our goal. So it's all about knowing how you're going to achieve your goal, or what constitutes achieving your goal. WOOP. I love saying it. WOOP is another framework, and it stands for wish, outcome, obstacles, and plan. If this is really great for those who have a desire and they're not sure how to make it specific, meaningful, achievable, relevant, and time bound. You really start with your desire in the WOOP goal. So you want to lose weight. Great. Then you think about the outcome. What is the outcome you want to achieve? Well, what I want to achieve by losing weight is feeling healthier in my body. So, and that would mean being able to walk up the stairs without getting winded. So maybe that's our outcome. Walk up the stairs without getting winded. What obstacles do we see in achieving our goal? This is, I think somebody called this defensive pessimism. Yes, defensive pessimism. I think it was Lisa Montanaro, and who used to be a lawyer and is now a business coach and speaker in California. And it's planning for those obstacles. So your defense team isn't going to go in as Pollyanna. They're going to try and figure out what the prosecution is going to bring and how they're going to counter it. So defensive pessimism will really help you plan after you think of all of the things that might be an obstacle, like the chocolate cake at a friend's birthday party, or I told you there were going to be a lot of food references, or the steak you want to have instead of the chicken. What you do is you come up for a plan for all of those obstacles in order to set yourself up for success. So with the cake at the friend's birthday party, you may have decided that a little cake is okay. So you plan to ask to share a slice with somebody. There's more than likely one other person at the table with your same goals. If you've decided to not have cake, then enjoy in the singing and the celebration, and maybe order a side of fruit from the restaurant when we can go back to restaurants and hang out in person. I'm realizing this was a bad example for our time now. But you get the idea. Obstacles, and then plan for those obstacles so you can achieve them. Hard goals. Hard goals is another acronym or structure template you can use to set your goals. With hard means heartfelt, animated, required, and difficult. Heartfelt means you're emotionally attached. So if we go back to the SMART goals with the M, meaningful, that's kind of the same. You're emotionally attached to the goal. You have a reason for wanting to achieve it. Animated and hard means you can envision it. You can really see, you can see the outcome in your mind's eye. Required, why does it have to be done now? If goals are harder to attain, I think, if the timeline is too far out in the future, we can't really see that far out and it seem real. So we have to consider, when we're setting our goals, is it something that needs to be done now or in the near future? Difficulty. So this one is a little different from SMART goals, where it's achievable. in the hard goals, the main premise is that if there's a little difficulty in achieving our goals, then it's going to be we're going to be more motivated, have more willpower, have more of a commitment to committing to completing the goal. You run the risk of, if your goal is too achievable, of kind of putting things off and not really feeling the urgency of needing to complete the goal. So those are three structures: SMART, WHOOP, and HARD. And I invite you to look at all three of them. I have a blog post that I've written, The Art of Goal Setting, and I will post it in the link in the comments after the live. Or you may be reading it now, because I'm going to put this on the blog post itself. So you can review SMART, WHOOP, and HARD and decide what works for you, what's really going to help you move forward and set the right goals for you and be able to attain them. So you've got the goal set. Are you done? No. No. You've got to review your goals on a regular basis and stack your goals up against your priorities and your life circumstances at the time. 2020 was a great example of a lot of people had their goals set. They were ready to rock and roll. The first quarter was great. And then we went into shutdowns. So, and it made it hard for people to figure out where to go next and how to attain those goals. Well, some of those goals just weren't going to be able to be attained because of the circumstances we were in. And I invite you, if that's the case, to please reevaluate your goals. Just because something has changed in your life doesn't mean you have to stick to every goal you set. You can tweak it, you can discard it, you could put it in the parking lot to hold for later. Review your goals on a regular basis to make sure they're in alignment with where you are in life right now. Another thing about goals is that failure is an option. We kind of just talked about that. We learn so much from failures and challenges we face. We learn more about who we are and what we can do and what our passions are. So if you have set a goal and you don't attain it, look at whether if it was relevant to you at the time. Look at if it was truly achievable. Did you set a long enough time frame? Just because we don't achieve a goal doesn't mean that we are less worthy or we can't ever achieve goals. It means that we can take lessons, kind of like from that defensive pessimism. Maybe we didn't plan for the proper obstacles. Maybe different obstacles popped up, and now we know about those obstacles. So the next time we try to achieve the goal, we can plan in advance. Write your goals down. This is so important. You are 42% more likely to achieve your goal if you write it down. You can write things down and put them on sticky notes. Maybe you have sticky notes on your billboard, your cork board or magnetic board. If you have a whiteboard or a chalkboard, you can write your goals down. I think it's important to look at your goals every day to remember where you're going. Make it a habit of reviewing your goals. If every day feels like a little too much, do it at least once a week to make sure when you're planning your week that you're in alignment with where you're wanting to go. So considering the obstacles, I keep harping on this. I think it's a really important step that should not be left out. When I review my week, my year, my month, I'm always looking at what I could have done better, what I'm going to stop doing, and how I can improve on things. So looking at your obstacles is something you're going to do in every step of a planning process. And getting comfortable with that will really help you go a long way. Another way to stick to your goals is to record your progress, especially if it's a habit goal. One of my habit goals this year is to drink more water. I have a tracker in my planner that always comes with me, so I can mark down how much water I'm drinking. I'm going to take a sip of water right now. And seeing that progress will give you motivation. So when you mark things off and you can see things growing, you've committed to doing it and you've done it for a few days in a row, that's going to give you more motivation to keep going. And maybe you just need more motivation in general for goals. Some people think that motivation is just there. Like it comes and it goes, and if we go with the flow, we'll feel motivated at some point. Well, goals really help you to get motivated. When you achieve a goal, it sends off dopamine, and I'm sure, I don't know if it sends off serotonin too. I don't know all my brain chemicals, but it fires things off in your brain that get you excited and thinking about achieving more. And you start to want to follow that burst of energy or happiness that comes from achieving your goals. And the last thing I want to say about goals in general is that goals are not the place for shoulds. This was in a couple of the structures, really making sure that the goal was relevant to you, was heartfelt, really meant something to you. Because if you're doing it for somebody else, the likelihood that it's going to get accomplished is diminished. So make sure that you are doing goals that mean something to you. And so we've gone over a lot today. This is exciting. We've gone over 3 different structures of setting goals: the SMART, WHOOP, and HARD. We've talked about how once you create a goal, you really need to plan for obstacles, that if you do not meet the goal, that's okay. Take that and learn lessons from it. See what obstacles came up so you can plan for them in the future. Writing down goals makes you 42% more likely to achieve your goal. And then we talked about recording progress and how goal setting actually motivates you to achieve more. So again, each person is going to go about setting their goals differently. I invite you to take these templates, take these structures, and modify them for your needs. Maybe sometimes you do have to set a goal that is more important for another person than it is for you. There will come times for that, but make sure for the most part you are setting goals that will help you and that you're passionate about in order to achieve them. I do have coming up, I've mentioned this in the group before, I do have coming up a new mastermind. It's going to be a group of 10 people, and it's starting in February. I was hoping to start it in January, but I was a little ambitious. So starting in February, we'll be doing 1 mastermind call a month, 2 co-working sessions. You'll have 1 Q&A session where you can ask me anything you want about productivity and technology. Twice a year, you'll have a hot seat, and we'll have a private Facebook group where the 10 members can really get to know each other and help each other to be more productive. So we'll be going live. We'll be doing that every Friday at 11 a.m. Central. If you're interested in being a part of that group, just send me a message or go to my website and contact me. I'm expecting it to fill fast once I really launch it. I'm bringing it here to you first because you're my positively productive peeps, and I would love to see you in the group. So let me know if you're interested. That would be great. And as always, I am here to help you with your digital needs, organizing files, emails, getting apps off your phone and computer, helping it to run a little smoother, and anything about productivity. If you are trying to achieve more and be more efficient, I have lots of ideas to help you. I just need to know where you need help. So I'm Jamie Steele, the owner of Tidy Your Time in Pflugerville, Texas. I can't wait to see you again next Tuesday, where we will be talking more about goals. It's all January, all goals. See you later.